Yeah. So, in terms of blocking the punt, we talk about the drills that we run. We will bend the edge. We'll have some drill where we can see who can come around the edge fastest and get to the block point, which we define the block point as 2 yards in front of the punter. Okay. And then we'll do a drill where we do a middle rush where we see who can get through the middle and avoid the shield. And the goal on avoiding the shield is reducing that near shoulder and ripping. And when I rip, right, when I rip through anybody, whether it's an outside block or an inside block, getting my hand above the head, getting skinny. And that's a transferable skill for any position in football. Right. And then when we get to the block point, we want to form with our hands, right? We don't want to swat at the ball, right? We're not playing volleyball, but we want to form with our hands, as our defensive backs coach would say, a diamond that you can afford, where your hands are so tight that diamond is so small, right? Because again, our guys can't afford anything. So, right, making sure that thing is nice and tight, right? So we can take the ball off the punter's foot. We want to slide our hands off the table, so to speak, and make sure we're kind of keeping our hands tight to the body, right? And a parallel that I use for the kids that played baseball, right? When you run, right, when you play center field and the ball's hit to you, you don't just stick your hand out and run all the way until you catch the ball. You run and then you throw up your hands late. So you gain speed as you get to the block point. So if you're coming from the edge, you want to come across the punter. You want to come across the punter so you don't square him up. That's a big coaching point that we use. If you square up on the punter, greater chances are you're going to run into the punter, and the punter is going to do some dramatic soccer leg dive, get a penalty. And then when you're in the middle, when you're coming through the shield, right, you want to get to a spot where you can pick a side. A lot of times it's that near side, near hand. You want a near hand bat, kind of a transferable defensive line coaching point, right? How defensive linemen tip the ball, right? Mirror the throwing hand, near hand bat, things like that. So a lot of these skills translate to our players because they play offensive and defensive positions. So the more you can get on the same lingo and the same language helps with that, along with throwing in some key talking points that maybe don't get discussed on either side of the ball. So we work an edge drill where we bend the edge to the block point. We'll work a middle shield drill where you have to go through the line, beat the shield to the block point, and then we'll slow it down and we'll just partner up. And one guy will be the punter, and then one guy will be the blocker, where has his hands in running motion, and when he sees the punter raise his foot, all right, shoots the diamond. So we try to just each stage from the ground up that we try to work.